Hey, what's up, world? Welcome to Season 3 of Snack Size, the podcast that will drag you into your most fabulous life. It's a brand new year, and it's a great time to live the life of your dreams. You've got to do you, because no one else can. And no matter what your happy and fulfilled life looks like, I want to help you get there. Our time together starts now. Hey, Snacks! I hope you all are having a fabulous start to your 2021. Over the past year, we've had a lot of time for reflection, and one of the things I like to reflect on in my life is the people I have in it. I know that the last year has taught me who is really there for me in my life. I've mentioned this before in previous episodes, but one of the best parts about being a performer and now a podcaster is that I get to meet a lot of different people, and that has helped me a lot. However, it took me a while to understand that not everyone is a friend. Some people don't have your best interests at heart. Sometimes, maybe you just aren't as close to someone as you thought you were. And of course, there are times when you meet someone and they are a friend for life. The thing is, your life is a revolving door. Some people come and some people go. Some people will avoid you like the plague, and others show up with bags and just move in. Others just need somewhere to crash for a couple days. Others maybe need directions to where they actually want to go. I say all this because every person we meet are in your life for a purpose, and it is your job to figure out if that person is in your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. Does that phrase sound familiar? There is a well-known poem by an unknown author called Reason, Season, or Lifetime. It teaches us about accepting the impermanence of relationships and recognizing the lessons they leave us with. I love this poem, and I want to take a moment to read it to you all. So, Snacks, here is the poem, Reason, Season, or Lifetime. People always come into your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. When you figure out which it is, you know exactly what to do. When someone is in your life for a reason, it is usually to meet a need you have expressed outwardly or inwardly. They have come to assist you through a difficulty, or to provide you with guidance and support, to aid you physically, emotionally, or even spiritually. They may seem like a godsend to you, and they are. They are there for the reason you need them to be. Then, without any wrongdoing on your part or at an inconvenient time, this person will say or do something to bring the relationship to an end. Sometimes they die. Sometimes they just walk away. Sometimes they act up and force you to take a stand. What we must realize is that our need has been met, our desire fulfilled. Their work is done. The prayer you sent up has been answered, and it is now time to move on. When people come into your life for a season, it is because your turn has come to share, grow, or learn. They may bring you an experience of peace, or make you laugh. They may teach you something you have never done. They usually give you an unbelievable amount of joy. Believe it, it is real, but only for a season. And like spring turns to summer, and summer to fall, the season eventually ends. Lifetime relationships teach you lifetime lessons. Those things you must build upon in order to have a solid emotional foundation. Your job is to accept the lesson, love the person anyway, and put what you have learned to use in all other relationships and areas of your life. It is said that love is blind, but friendship is clairvoyant. Thank you for being a part of my life, whether you were a reason, a season, or a lifetime. What that poem teaches us is that people enter our lives to fulfill some need or purpose. Depending on what we need at the time, they stay in our lives for a reason, season, or lifetime. So let's talk about them all. Just so you know, I am going to share some stories about my life, and I've changed the names of the people for privacy, but the stories themselves will be very true, and I hope you can learn from them. First, there are the relationships that are for a reason. There are times in your life where you need something, And depending on the situation, what you can need will change, but the fact that you need it always stays the same. This can really be any type of thing. For example, your car breaks down and a passerby stops to help you. Or maybe you're really stressed out with your job and you find a coworker to vent to. When someone is in your life for a reason, it is usually to meet a need that you expressed. Not always out loud, but you know in your heart you need it. They've come to assist you through a difficulty or to provide you with guidance and support. They may open an all-new doorway in your life which you may have never discovered on your own. But once they have served their purpose, the relationship dies. Sometimes it makes sense why the relationship dies, and then there's times where it really bothers you. When I moved to Minneapolis, I was really scared about whether or not I was going to make it in the drag scene here. Before that, I had only been performing in Indiana, in my small town, and while I learned a lot there, I definitely was the big fish in a small pond. In Indiana, I had a great support system of friends who really kept me going, but I knew that when I moved away, I wouldn't have that same support. I was fortunate enough to meet someone, totally randomly, that ended up really helping me gain my confidence. And this person's name is Steve. I met Steve while I was standing in line at a food joint ordering a burger. He was in line behind me, and when I said I wanted mayonnaise on my burger, he said, "Mayonnaise? You must not be from here." Me being a very outspoken person, I quickly noticed how passive-aggressive people are in Minnesota. So to hear someone be so candid was a welcome surprise, and needless to say, we hit it off. It turns out that Steve loves drag, and not just the I watch every single episode of RuPaul's Drag Race kind of loves drag. He actually knew a lot about drag history, and we shared some of the same favorite iconic drag idols. Steve really encouraged me as I was starting out in Minneapolis. He came to almost all of my shows and would very loudly cheer me on in the front row. He was also always telling people about how awesome I was. So much so that my insecurities I had just kind of melted away. As we know, change is really scary. And moving here was probably one of the biggest ones in my life. And I can say that if it weren't for Steve, I would have had a much harder time getting my name out in Minneapolis. Steve and I spent a lot of time together, and somewhere along the way, I started to fall in love with him. Steve was an amazing supporter when it came to my performing, but in so many other ways, we just weren't a match. I knew that, but I fell for it anyway. What I didn't realize, or maybe I didn't want to accept, is that Steve was only in my life for a reason. And when our relationship ended, I was really upset about it. But it was also clear that I was going to be a successful drag queen in Minneapolis, which was awesome, but that meant I couldn't hang out as much as I used to, or I would be busy so I couldn't chat on the phone. Over time, the relationship just kind of lost its fire. The people who are in your life for a reason, once they have fulfilled their purpose, they leave. It's not the easiest thing in the world, but if you realize that they were only there for a reason, you may be able to let them go a little easier. It's important to see people and situations as they truly are and not what you think they might or hope they would be. Think of it this way. Everything in life has a reason. So when it comes to the people in yours, you should know what that is for you. And to Steve, if you happen to be listening to this episode, thank you. Your kindness has helped me on my way, and I'm always going to be thankful for that. Next, let's talk about the relationships that are there for a season. Some people enter our lives and make us aware of our own strengths, which we may not know. They inspire us and aid us in realizing our true potential. They are there to share and celebrate your life with you, and it is during these times that you can learn, grow, and expand further than you ever thought before. These people tend to stick around longer than the reason people, but when the season is over, they leave. For example, everybody remembers their first love. Some people do end up spending a lifetime with their first love, but most people don't. And no matter who your first love is, you definitely appreciate all of the things that they taught you, even if you aren't together anymore. An example in my own life is not my first love, but it is the first person that made me feel it was okay to be gay. I was in high school, and at that time, I was trying to figure out what my life was about. I knew I was different, and I was just trying to sort through that within myself. I was already being made fun of because of my size, and I was terrified that if I came out as gay, it would just get worse, especially at a private Catholic school. One of the first people I confided in was my friend Kim, who rode the bus to school with me every day. Kim was one of the popular girls. She was very pretty, very smart, and very well liked. However, unlike the other popular kids, she was always kind to me. When I came out to her, I remember she told me that she knew it was hard for me. She told me that being gay was okay, and that once high school was over, life gets so much better. She explained that the people we went to school with probably would never understand me, but once I got out into the real world, there were tons of people like me, living happy, successful lives. It was right after that conversation I made a plan. I would do what I needed to do to get through high school, and after that, I could be free. Kim was wise beyond her years. In college, I ended up being one of the most popular people on campus, and I met 5 amazing gay men who are still my best friends to this day. Kim and I lost touch sometime after high school, but I will always remember that conversation. She gave me hope that I would one day find the life of my dreams, and without that needed reassurance, I don't know where I'd be. Seasonal people can have some of the biggest influence on your life, and they may not even realize it. It is also likely that you have been an influence to someone in this lifetime, and you may not realize it. If you do come across seasonal relationships in life, enjoy them, and learn and grow in every way you can. You never know when the season will change. Last but certainly not least, there are the relationships that last a lifetime. Lifetime relationships are often family relationships, or relationships that help you embrace yourself and others unconditionally. These are the people that form an integral part of your life. They assist in developing a solid support system and contribute greatly to who you are as a person. An example of this is your parents. For many people, their parents influence and guide them throughout their whole life. Another popular saying is that friends are the family we choose for ourselves, and I hope that everyone finds their best friend in life. Remember the 5 fabulous people I met in college? Well, it turns out they were not just reason or seasonal people, but lifelong friends. We have known each other for almost 15 years, and I would say we have been through a lot of ups and downs, and we have, but we've also been frontwards, backwards, diagonal, and everything in between together, and our bond has never been broken. There are a lot of things I have learned from these relationships. When you grow older with people, you actually learn a lot. What I have learned about lifelong relationships is that these are the people who take a personal investment in you. If you are the company, they are the shareholders, and they want to see you flourish and succeed. When you are at your worst, these are the people that bring their best to help you. From my lifetime friends, I have learned what it means to be trustworthy, and I've learned what happens when you aren't. I've learned about loyalty. I've also learned to accept people as they are, and that I deserve to be accepted for who I am. It's more about celebrating the things that you love about the people in your life, rather than focusing on what they could possibly do better. But if they ask what they could do better, you should tell them and help them grow. And I know that my friends would do the same for me. By following these principles of lifelong friendship, you will find a lifetime of learning and growing with the people you love. Every person that comes into our lives helps us to evolve into our best selves. Their coming into our lives is not an accident. The universe perfectly orchestrated it to give us the appropriate lesson at the exact appropriate time. Therefore, we must be thankful to such people and have gratitude towards them since they contributed towards our growth and learning. The greatest gift that we can offer in return is practicing what they taught us in all areas of our life. The invaluable guidance that they offered shall forever live in our hearts. So, whether someone is in your life for a reason, for a season, or for a lifetime, enjoy them, learn from them, and then pass what you know on to the next person. Until next time, see you later, Snack. Hey, Snack! Thanks for hanging out with me and listening to this episode. You can get into every episode over at www.snacksizepodcast.com. And don't forget to register for my email list so I can keep you in the loop about new episodes, sneak peeks, giveaways, and more. That's www.snacksizepodcast.com. Until next time, see you later, Snack.